Well, the war certainly does continue to cause oil prices to soar, as we just discussed, and that puts countries around the world on alert. In fact, Brent crude surging past $100 a barrel on Sunday. This is the first time the global benchmark has crossed that mark since Russia's invasion of Ukraine back in 2022. You can see where prices sit at this hour with Brent crude already at closer to $115 a barrel, about a 25% climb there with WTI crude oil as well, matching those increases as well. Now, well over 26% WTI, of course, the U.S. oil benchmark that hit the highest since 2022 as well. And President Trump, he is trying to calm any of the fears of rising fuel costs in the United States. He took to Truth Social with this post. He wrote in part, "Short-term oil prices are a very small price to pay for USA and world safety and peace. But those surging prices, they've been rattling some investors. I mean, just look at these numbers alone with U.S. market futures ahead of what is expected to be another very busy trading weeks, all of them in the red across the board. Traders are worried that a lengthy spike in fuel prices, they could cause inflation to rise and potentially even damage the economy. And those fears, not just in the United States, but you can also see that happening when you consider some of these Asian market numbers as well already as the trading week gets underway. Let's dive a little deeper into what this means globally. Over to CNN's Mike Valerio joining me again from Beijing. Distribution disruptions, what does it mean for people around the world, Mike?
Oh, it means higher prices, most likely, but it's not exactly a foregone conclusion in terms of how high the prices are going to go. But if there's an energy disruption, if there's a disruption to energy supplies of major economies here in this corner of the world, especially when we were looking at those numbers, Japan, South Korea, those indices down around 7%, or in the case of Seoul, down close to 8%. That could mean if these countries are having a disruption to their supply, that their economies slow down as a consequence, which means economic output slows down, which means the prices rise for the important stuff that we pay coming from these countries. Think chips from Taiwan, from advanced manufacturing from Japan and South Korea. But we want to focus on Taiwan a little bit more. We touched on it when we were with you, Polo, in the last hour. But according to our reporting that's been honed over the past couple hours, Taiwan has a statutory requirement to have an 11-day supply of liquefied natural gas. 11 days. And as far as we can tell, Taiwan's cabinet is out with a statement saying that they are okay for March, but they're still, Polo, trying to shore up their liquefied natural gas supplies for the month of April. Taiwan, critically important for all of the advanced semiconductors and chips that AI companies need, that companies from California to New York, everywhere in between, Europe, South America, everywhere, need for their industries. So when we're talking about the potential disruption to the Strait of Hormuz, Taiwan has about a third of its liquefied natural gas that comes from Qatar, another third that comes from Australia. Crude, about a quarter of it comes from Saudi Arabia, and the other quarter, the biggest percentage, comes from the United States. So I want to just sort of impress upon our viewers that we're not talking about fuel running out, but we are talking about disruptions that could send prices higher. Furthermore, just to wrap up here, Polo, when we look at Indonesia, the fourth most populous country in the world, our reporting shows that they have around 20 days of strategic reserves. So, of course, Indonesia, a hub for manufacturing. If this continues, if the strait is shut down, as the Energy Secretary says, for a matter of weeks, that could be hugely detrimental to the economies in this part of the world, Polo.
Without a doubt, this conflict sending shockwaves around the world as you lay out. Mike Valerio in Beijing, appreciate you walking us through that. Instead of coming here on CNN News.